Welcome back to the We Win Injury Law podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Todd, sitting here with my co-host, Jaron, the Snow Canyon Man Sandberg. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. I try to give you a different response every time.
Good afternoon. You're ready to go. You just said you were born ready. That was not a born ready good afternoon.
Well, but I didn't want to offend you. If it depends on the context. If we're Will Ferrell context, then I don't wish you a good afternoon.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Good afternoon.
But just normal course.
So it was like a real good afternoon, not like a Will Ferrell good afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I could tell yours, to me, was definitely Will Ferrell.
No. It was a good, clean good afternoon. Not like a dirty good afternoon.
You did me dirty. Come on.
I didn't mean to do you dirty. All right, everybody. We're back talking about some legal analysis, cases, different things in our world that we see as lawyers, why we may think it's relevant to you. Question. I have a question. If you guys are watching this, whether it's however you listen and subscribe to your podcast or on YouTube or however you're watching or listening to this, my question is, what makes everyone like Suits? Is it because you like legal shows? Is it because Harvey Specter's just a stud? Meghan Markle is super cute. She is super cute.
She's ex-royalty now.
Wait, she's ex-royalty? Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. She is ex-royalty.
Became royalty, but then
Right. What is it? Is it because, the legal stuff so, interesting and intriguing? Or is it, the drama? I mean, we all like drama TV shows. I know, I get that. But why is Suits so popular? Because it's a drama, or people like the drama intertwined with the legal?
What's your take?
Oh, shoot. I never really watched it.
I didn't really like it either, so I'm maybe the wrong audience.
I watched a little bit of it because it was, this is the new hot show right now. I
started it a couple of times and never got through.
And then, of course, on one hand, you're like, okay, I got it. How do I become Harvey Specter?
That was right. Going to be my response. Is that to maybe the more macho attorney hat on?
Yeah. I mean,
Harvey
just kind of like
Specter's
the stud, right? And then
none of us want to be the other guy, because that's my worst nightmare, is that I frauded my way into becoming a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because he didn't take the bar exam, right?
I still have bad dreams that I've shown up to either the bar exam or a law school final. I haven't studied all semester.
And you failed it and failed the bar or whatever.
What am I going to do with my life?
Right.
So
anyways, I'm just curious why you like Suits. Comment in our threads or wherever you can comment on our social media. Why do you like Suits or other legal shows?
A couple of attorneys. Why you like it?
Yeah, I'm just curious because I only can speak for myself, but I think I speak for a lot of people that are other lawyers. Don't really like the legal shows because it's not really how it is, and so it's just so interesting to me. And because I watch it, I'm like, that would never happen. That would never happen. That's so silly.
Versus we're glued when you get a little I mean, how many times have you been sitting there watching the Karen Reed trial?
All right, the Karen Reed stuff, I'm obsessed.
And all of a sudden, I've watched 50 videos.
Yeah, I'm obsessed because you can't believe that stuff's happening and it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And I think actual real life drama that is you would only see in a TV show that's actually happening. I think that's why Alan Jackson is the guy right now, because
this is something we would expect to see on Suits, not in real life.
And he's calling it all out. I think he's calling it out too, because he's like, I can't believe I just lived through that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that just happened to me. In the 30 years he's been practicing law and the thousands of trials he's been in or for judges he's been in front of, he's never seen that happen ever.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Now, when that happens to us, I mean, me and you text each other all the time when I'm like, can you believe this just happened to me in court? I mean,
that's true. I guess it's always expect the unexpected. A trial lawyer I admired greatly and look up to, Mike Alder, he just posted something recently, always expect the unexpected. You just never know what a judge may do, a juror may, question they may come back with, or what a defense lawyer or witness may. I mean, always expect the unexpected. We were just talking about this too. Even though we prep our clients for depositions and we go over and we kind of, hey, this is what to expect, and these are some of the things we need to make sure we have ironed out, and make sure that, you just want to be careful. Maybe this line of questioning, we feel like we've prepped them good, and then we're ready, and then all of a sudden we get in the deposition and it's totally off script.
Oh my gosh, I was.
You're like, what's happening?
This happens to me and Tyler on the daily. I feel like and again, our clients aren't lawyers; they can't prep like we can prep. But you do your best, and like I had a client that, this is going back a little bit, but in the medical record, the emergency room had gotten something wrong, and it clearly didn't happen. They'd written down, had a concussion a month prior, and clearly did not happen. And my client was very confident that nothing had happened, and gets in the deposition, and this defense attorney's like, well, does this refresh your memory? Shows on the medical record. Does this refresh your memory on another head injury prior to the accident? And instead of giving this confident answer, she,
I had nothing. Prior. Nothing. Yeah.
Instead, it was, well, let me think about it. And just like this puzzled, like, well, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you were so confident when you talked to me that is clearly just. Now, luckily, there was some context. The emergency room had been very busy. There was some things that the client had added to help. But man, I'm like, sometimes just tell it the truth, which was there was clearly nothing.
I know. I feel
it almost felt like a gotcha moment.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, and this is something that people do naturally, especially in depositions, we try to like qualify our answers a lot.
Yeah.
We try to explain our reasoning, or we try to, I don't know. I think, and people just need to realize in depositions, just answer the question.
Yeah.
Let the other lawyers do their job. For the most part, they just want you to answer the question. They don't really want you to start going off on random tangents.
Now, when we take depositions, we love it.
Well, we don't hate it. That's for sure.
When they go off, I had one guy that he did not want to answer my question, but then he like narrated it out loud. It was my favorite one because he was like, well, I hate that question, and here's why I hate that question, and kept going. And his attorney, and this is on a Zoom call, so I'm seeing his attorney just shaking his head, just like shut, and like even like going like this, like shut up, but he can't interrupt it because you can't do that. And so this guy it was great. So I've been on the flip side. We try to prep our clients for that.
It's fun when that happens, and it's fun when they're talkative. You guys, listen, this is a true story. I was in the Upside Down world yesterday.
Okay.
Are you ready for Stranger Things 5 coming out this fall?
Can't wait.
It's going to be awesome. It's supposed to be the last one, right?
I mean, is Dustin everyone's favorite character or just mine?
He's actually really good. The final.
Yeah, it's final season.
Final season, right? Stranger Things 5. So I was legit in the Upside Down world yesterday.
Okay.
I went and did a site inspection at a home where we have a case where there was an explosion with massive burns to our client. And so, of course, we're there trying to identify the final season, Stranger Things 5. This will be it. So I'm going to really enjoy this season because I just came from the Upside Down world yesterday. So we go into this house, and I didn't know what to expect. It's on a whole home. I mean, it's like, It looks like it's early 1900s. And I knew that this explosion happened in the basement, but as I'm looking as we're standing outside the house, I'm like, where's this basement? Because what? It's just an old home.
Yeah.
And we go into this home, and I just didn't even know what to expect. It almost felt like one of the homes in Stranger Things, for real. And then we go down into this basement, and this explosion like knocked out all the windows. So there's glass on the ground outside of the front of the house with just debris because I think they're going to knock the house down. And we go down these stairs to this basement, which is really tiny and really small. And most of it's charred, and there's debris everywhere, and it's just like
all it was missing was the little like misties in the air from Stranger Things.
There was.
Oh, there was.
Well, you can't see it from the natural eye, but when I started video with my phone,
like
misties
the dust,
all over
the dust things in the air.
Literally, the only thing that was missing was like
a Demogorgon.
Like for real. Like I was like, where am I? I'm in the Upside Down world. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And so, you go back and look at the videos I filmed yesterday, all these little misties in the air. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I say that because one, that was a wild experience, but two, the things that we have to do to prove cases and win cases for our clients when things like explosions happen or catastrophic events happen or we want to talk a little bit about, I started asking why people like suits, because we're going to talk about these mega million cases over the years that have brought like massive either settlements or verdicts. It's just interesting to see like what goes into these cases.
Yeah.
And then what you have to do to like prove negligence.
Yeah.
And you got these companies or landowners or property owners that when things happen and bad things happen to people, what do? Immediately like clam up and like, oh, we don't know how that happened. We don't know. Well,
yeah,
that's we're not responsible for that.
Yeah.
And then emails get hidden or lost or deleted, and then videos of the premises get lost or deleted, or that's not a real functioning camera. And then you ask for preservation of all these different things, and it's like, oh well, we've already destroyed that. And you're like, wait a second. And we do that, everybody, because we're trying to like not only one get justice for our clients, but two, we're trying to make the public, our communities, safer.
Yeah.
Like the biggest, most recent probably verdict, we're going to talk about some others here in just a second, was the Starbucks one.
Yeah.
$50 million in March. And the whole idea behind that was because the coffee's too hot, kind of like the McDonald's case. The coffee or the tea was too hot. The lids were not functioning properly or the way they should have been. And there's got to be some accountability on Starbucks to say, look, you can't make tea or coffee that hot. Now, on the flip side, I don't like tea or coffee or anything that's like lukewarm.
Unless it's iced, right? Like
if it's ice, it's different.
Yeah.
But there's got to be public safety at the heart of it all.
Well, and this is where it gets interesting. You know, one of the cases that I always draw back on is one of the first major legal conferences we went to, and the very first session I sat through was this attorney had gotten this case where it was a referral from another attorney, and I think there was a minimum policy on this accident, seemingly accident case on a highway, but a woman had died, and this attorney, as he's talking to the room, said, "Well, I had just gotten this new drone, and I'd done some construction cases before." And so I decided to take this drone out and go film the location where this accident occurred. And just while he's out there filming with his own drone, this is just the attorney, it's not like a private investigator, he sees another car do almost the same thing that happened in this accident. And what he figured out, so he's like, okay, well, this just happened in a vacuum. And he went and measured the side of the highway, and it was kind of a steep edge of the highway. So he pulled out, I don't know if it was a measuring tape. Eventually they had better pictures, but I think he put some things in there so he could compare it for size, and he went and took the extra steps to go talk to a construction company. Well, they figured out that this asphalt on the edge of the road is supposed to have more of a berm, because when cars go off the edge of the asphalt, it can't be such a steep incline or decline, however you want to consider that they can't get back onto the highway. And so what happened is this person had gone off the highway on this spot, couldn't get back on. And then once they'd eventually hit like a change in the highway, it launched them across the highway, because they're really pulling to try to get back on the highway.
There's been times and maybe you've experienced this too, that you're driving that and they do that because they're doing the different surfaces on the, and when you go back over or change a lane, it's like, and you're like, am I going to like,
well, and it kind of pulls your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Especially on the freeway, it is higher speeds. And so this attorney he just trying out his drone and happened to luck upon someone else doing this. So he measured it. And then at trial, the defense's main position was, we do this all over. And the jury hated that. They awarded $50 million in punitive damages on that case. And me and you met the attorney after.
Jay.
And he was like, the last check cleared, because it was, it was a big company, big asphalt company that was doing this. But it was just, that always comes back to me of like taking the extra steps. I know me and we do site inspections on a lot of, and again, it has to be the right case. And, but we've gone and where clients have slipped on things, we've gone and taken pictures, and, we do our own investigation. And then if we need to, we have experts investigate it. And that's all kind of part of that process on going those extra steps on these big cases.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had done that with a drone. When you started talking, I'm like, I know this case, but I just didn't realize he had done that with a drone.
Yeah, he had done it with his own drone at first. Now, I don't know if eventually he had another investigator then go film the scene, but he just tried out his own drone. That was the part I loved, was because just like you in this basement, you're looking for things that like, hey, again, I'm filming everything, taking pictures of everything. And it felt like the upside down for you.
It did feel like the upside down. It was
but
crazy.
I'm sure him sitting there with his drone thought the same thing. Like, oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
Right. And you're looking for, is there something? Because juries are the same way. They're not just going to look at something and say like, oh, well, yeah, an accident occurred. They want to know. And In this
Why?
case, why?
Well, and I think the final total verdict in that case was over $70 million.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But the punitives was
Punitives were 50.
because apparently the contractor at some point had said something like, "We've done this 50 times just in this county," and they said every time you think that these construction companies broken the law, that could result in a highway, and all these jurors are probably thinking, "I'm driving home on this same highway stretch,"
right.
And they're probably looking at the highway. Did this company do that stretch of highway and cut corners? Because that's what they'd done. They'd cut corners.
Or feel like that may have happened to them. I feel like it's happened to me.
It's happened to me.
Where I've been driving and I feel like, whoa, that's really steep. And
think of a motorcyclist on that same set. I mean, when it pulls your car that much, imagine being on two wheels.
Right. So that's a great example of Jay and his team doing what they did, obviously, to secure a $70+ million verdict, which was amazing. And sometimes we hear those things and we're like, oh, that was appealed. No, they paid it all. They paid it all. So a couple of big cases that we kind of want to highlight. Ford Pinto. I mean, you kind of hear about the Ford Pinto. You never see the Ford Pinto.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you don't ever see the Ford Pinto, because they had major gas tank issues and where it was placed and how it was designed, which resulted in a jury award because there was a 13-year-old was severely burned when the rear end, the car was rear-ended. That's kind of when they were like, okay, this is a really, really bad design. That's called products liability, everybody. So it's either one, that the product didn't function properly, or two, the design was so bad that you could find that should have never been designed that way. And the Ford Pinto is one of those. Basically, $125 million in punitive damages.
And this was back in 1981.
Yeah. But it was reduced, unfortunately, down to 3.5. But still in 1981, 3.5 million was a lot of money. Then we have Tierney Darden versus City of Chicago. This is when Tierney Darden was a 24-year-old who's paralyzed when a 750-pound O'Hare pedestrian shelter fell during a storm. They're not supposed to do that.
Nope.
So a jury awarded $148 million, with $32 million for future medical costs and $6 million for emotional distress. And then the City of Chicago admitted fault but appealed the amount, but ultimately settled for $115 million.
And a lot of big cases, that was one thing on, one of the things we always wonder on some of these big verdicts is, well, did they pay out, right?
Right.
That's part of the equation. And what happened on appeal? And so when you hear on this one, yeah, if they ultimately settled, you could tell which way the appeal was going to go.
Right. Here's another one, GM gas tank explosion. So this came down in, looks like 1999, where 79.
I thought the verdict was in 99, but it was based on the 79 Chevy Malibu.
Right. Is that right?
Yeah.
79, it happened in 79, but the verdict finally came down. So it's like a 20-year litigation process. But still, it was $4.8 billion in punitive damages. Okay. And I want to say another thing on another big case where it was $60 million awarded against GM. GM's kind of had a lot of issues over the years.
Yeah.
How are they still in business?
Well,
billions and millions of dollars.
$4.8 billion was reduced to 1.2.
Yeah,
these companies are so big that
$1.2 billion in 1999 for punitive damages.
Well, but that was, so in Utah we have a big case that was $125 million against State Farm, and it got reduced. It went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. People always ask, well, how do they know what to come up with punitive damages? And there's not like a formula. This is what it's normally to send a message, but the $125 million represented the profit State Farm made in a week at that time in 1990.
Right. So 3 other big ones. Tobacco, the big tobacco cases back in the late 1990s, $206 billion. The BP Deepwater Horizon case, that was a disaster. That's what the oil spills, right?
Yep. Great Mark Wahlberg movie, too.
Very good movie. $20 billion.
Whew.
Okay, to settle those cases. And then the VW Gate issue, 2016, $14.7 billion. So something I want to bring up. That's a lot of money, a lot of cases. A big part of it's public safety, changing the way corporations, design products, hold them accountable when they screw up and they try to hide things. What are punitive damages? Okay, we've been saying punitive damages on most of these big awards that we just mentioned and big verdicts we just mentioned. Do y'all know what punitive damages mean? comment, please. I'm curious if you know what punitive damages means. Because in our world, it's a big deal. And this is what we're trying to hold insurance companies, landowners, corporations responsible. Punitive is like a way to say we're going to punish them for a really, really egregious act.
Maybe the closest we can get to some true justice sometimes.
Yeah, it really is.
But the reality is it's not just on, you can't get punitive damages just on willy-nilly things. I mean, it's not for run-of-the-mill basic negligence. There's normally a higher standard in most states to be able to get awarded punitive damages. And every state has the way they award those. Some are based on, they'll even split the trial, right? Well, you have a trial for the first part of your case, and then they'll do a punitive damages phase. But I do think it should be that in most states, it's not just, oh, they were negligent, we're going to get punitive damages. I mean, in our world, we look at a lot of these cases and, if it's a drunk driver or something that gets in a really gnarly accident, those are something that opens them up to punitive damages. And we think of cases in those terms. Are they opening themselves up to punitive damages and what factors those are?
Right. That's a good point. So hopefully, I mean, you understand that when punitive damages are awarded and or even asked for, it's because there's evidence that's been discovered, right? That's the discovery phase. There's been evidence discovered that these corporations or entities or even people have known about something for a long time and just blatantly ignored it, hoping that nothing would really happen, even though the likelihood of something happening was pretty high. And oftentimes they've been warned about it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't change this or fix this, something bad's going to happen.
That coffee's so hot, it will severely burn someone.
Right. And that
design flaw in that gas tank, like, yeah, but we can save $10 on per car if we put it there.
Exactly. And they're more concerned about the bottom line of their P&Ls versus a human life.
Yeah.
Or multiple human lives, but one's enough.
And most of the time it's their own customers.
It's their own customers.
It's just what's great. It's one thing if it was your competitor.
Or oftentimes it could be their own, they're subjecting themselves and or family members or families and friends to the risk they're putting out there.
Because all their family members better be driving, I'm assuming if you're an executive at Ford Motor Company, all your friends better be driving a Ford or there's something wrong, right?
Or you might be getting a drink at Starbucks. I mean, that's a pretty common thing, whether it's coffee in that or not. So it's just kind of wild. I mean, that's why we do what we do, is because we want to make our world a safer place. And two, we want justice and compensation for our clients. And whether we have to go to the upside down world or not, we're willing to do it. And that's where it's like, look, there's got to be accountability where accountability is required. And it's just kind of fun to do. I met with some clients yesterday at a Starbucks, ironically, at a Starbucks in Las Vegas, because that's where they felt comfortable meeting. And I said, fine, we can go there. There's either office or home or wherever you like to meet. And let's meet at the Starbucks. Okay. Okay. And they're the nicest people, sweetest people with life-changing injuries. And that's when you say, you know what? This is why we're doing what we're doing, because we're fighting for the people like you that may want to just meet at a Starbucks. The Starbucks was full, by the way. Not of people drinking coffee or in line, but people hanging out with their computers. And I think it's just when you meet these people face to face, our clients, and you go do these site inspections or you go deal with people, then you're like, this is why we do what we do. Because we're trying to help and protect the people that are subject to these big, massive corporations that are hurting people.
Yeah.
So anyways, comment. What was I saying? Why did I ask about comments?
You wanted to know more about punitive damages and
what people know about punitive damages.
If you knew about them beforehand, but also even just what do you think of them?
Yeah, like, do you feel like companies should be punished?
Because some people are very against punitive damages. They think, well, now you're just making it more expensive for everything.
Right.
But I think, and some states are very split. Like Utah takes half. And like anything over a certain amount, they take a good chunk of your punitive damages. So if we get a big punitive damages award over a certain amount of millions, we have to split that with the state that then the state is supposed to use to educate and make changes.
I'm not the only one who forgets things. Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's lawyer, I saw a video recently of like when he was a younger lawyer. He looks kind of different. It's kind of crazy. We all do it. We get older. Anyways, he was in trial and he was showing the jury that he was drinking from a smart water bottle. He was like, you see this? I'm hoping it helps me. It's smart water, smart water. And he kind of like joked and put it down. And then so he went back to the podium. He's like, I don't remember what I was going to say. Apparently it didn't work.
Yeah. The smart water didn't have
The smart water didn't help.
I'll say between the two of us, who has the better memory? It's you. So we can both live with that. Tyler's got the names and faces.
Maybe a little. Okay. Anyways, you guys, so tune in, subscribe to the next show. Hopefully we're going to talk about some more interesting things, P. Diddy trial and some other big injury cases, big cases that are going on around the country. Leave early, slow down, be safe out there. Thank you for your support. Thanks for tuning in. Find us on TikTok, Instagram. You can find us at wewinninjurlaw.com. And until next time, everybody, be safe.